Yeah, good morning. So in previous class, I was discussing on interactive system, and in interactive system, what we had taken, we had considered the user interface. Through the user interfaces, the customer or the user is going to consider an application, and he is going to request the necessary needs, or he is going to access a certain uh, application software functionality. So one such example for interactive system that we had considered is MVC pattern, where MVC controller pattern is an architectural pattern where the application is being divided into three components. One is a model, controller, and the view, where the model has a core functionality and all the data will be represented in a model, and the view represents how the information has to be displayed to the user, and the controller indicates to handle the user input, where the controller is being taken to is considered to take the data from the model and to connect that to the view. For that purpose, we are using the controller. Next, we have we had taken an example of a election. So in an election, how the parties are represented and how many votes that the parties has gained. So this till here we had discussed how the data is represented. So this entire data will be taken in a spreadsheet, and later these data will be plotted as a pie chart, bar chart, or in terms of a parliament. So till here we had discussed, right? So for developing an interactive system, the context for MVC pattern is we need to develop an interactive application with a human interface. To develop this, what are the different forces that has to be considered? So the first force is we need to present the information in a simpler way in a Windows platform to represent that what we are using. We are using either a bar chart or a pie chart. And the next thing is we need to display all the information, or we need to observe the behavior of the application. So whatever the data that has been represented, or whatever the data that has manipulated. Say for example, sometimes the votes may be differ. So whatever the data that you are that are reflecting in a database or in a core data, so that has to be changed immediately in terms of a views. And next thing is changes to the user interface should be easy and even possible at runtime. That means, say for example, whatever the data that you are changing in a model, that has to be reflected immediately when you have opened the view. That means you should be able to it should be able to adopt for the changes during the runtime. And next is supporting different like look and feel standard. That means whatever the data that you are representing, it should be represented as a look and feel. It should not lead to any ambiguity in such a way that the data has to be represented. And how can we bring the solution for that? So the solution can be taken as a MVC pattern. So which was introduced in the small talk in a programming environment. So this entire MVC pattern is divided into three areas. So the areas can be taken as one is a processing, one is a output, and one is a input. So whatever the input data that has been taken, it will be stored in a model, and whatever the output that we are going to consider, that will be taken as a view, and the processing is being taken as a controller. So it is going to fetch the data which has been stored in a model, or whatever the core functionality that the user is requesting, it is going to take it as an input, and that processing will be done, and it will represent in terms of a output in the views. So that is what the working of a processing. So the model component encapsulate the core data and the functionality. That means what? The end user will be not able to modify, or he is not able to consider those data and the functionality that has been implemented behind the data. So how to access the data, how the data has been stored, what are the different functionalities, or what algorithm is being used to fetch those data. So all these features will be encapsulated in the model. So the controller will help the end user to fetch those data. And the model is independent of specific output representation or a input behavior. Um, So whatever the data that has been stored either in a sheet or in any database, so it is completely independent of the output representation. It is not dependent on the output. It is independent. And the next thing is, what are the different view components that we have. So when we are taking a view component, so it has to display all the information, whatever the data is there, all the data information, all the data has to be represented in a proper format without leading to any ambiguity. So in such to represent that, what we are going to consider, we are going to consider multiple views. So how can we do that? That each and every view will be associated with the controller component. What the controller is going to do? The controller is going to accept all the input from the user, and it is going to encode the mouse movement. So whatever the movement of mouse is there, so I dependent on the activation of the mouse. So what happens? It is going to represent, or it is going to interpret the mouse input, and whatever the request that has been generated, that request will be taken to the model, and with the corresponding request, it is going to generate a view. Say for example, I have a data in a Excel sheet, and I want to represent those data in terms of a bar chart or a pie chart. So to represent that, what I will do, I'm going to select the file, select the data, and I will say if I have taken in an Excel sheet. So in an Excel itself, I can draw the chart, right? So what I will do, I will take a help of a mouse. So I will go to the menu bar, and I am going to click the chart, and I am going to select which chart I want to represent. So what happens? The controller will be waiting for the event to happen. So whenever a mouse event is going to happen, then what happens? It is going to accept those mouse event, and it will translate that event into the request. So once the request is being taken by the controller, so what happens? Whatever the service request is there, that service will be provided by the controller through the user interaction. So that is how the controller is going to work. So next, we need to represent the structure of the pattern. So to represent the structure of the pattern, what we are using the CRC card. Okay, so using the CRC card, we are identifying which is a class, who are the collaborators, and what are the responsibility of the particular class. So in a MVC pattern, we have a three classes. So one is a model, one is a view, and one is a controller. So for a class model, the collaborators are view and the controller. So collaborators are nothing but what are the other components which are related to the particular class, whichever the class that you are going to consider. So for that particular class, what we are going to consider. And next thing is responsibility. When we have taken this has when we have considered a particular class, so each and every class has its own responsibility or its own functionality to be executed. So what are the responsibility of a class model? So the responsibilities goes like this. So one is a functional, it provides a functional core of the application. So whatever the application that we are going to consider, so for that particular application, the entire functionality will be available in a model. And next thing is registers, dependent views, and the controllers. So here what happens, whatever the views are there. So all the views are entirely dependent on a model. So if the model is not there, then you cannot represent the view with the help of a controller. So what happens? The view and the controller both should be registered with the model, and this two components are dependent on a register. Next is notifies the dependent components about the data changes. So what happens? Say for example, we have taken election political parties. So instead of 30 votes, if that particular party has gained 5 more votes, then what happens? It has to be updated instead of 30, 35. So whatever the updation that has been done in a model, so it will notify the other components, that is view and the controller, about the data changes. So whatever the data that has been changed in a model, that should be reflected in a view. And next, we have a class called as a view. Are you able to see the diagrams? So the next class we have is a view. So for the view class, the collaborators are the controller and the model. And the responsibility of the view class is create and initialize its associated controller. So each and every view has its own controller. So what happens when the view is being particular view has been selected? Say for example, we want to represent the same data in a different model. Say we have a bar chart, pie chart, and a 3D diagrams. So what happens? Each of these diagrams or each of these graph has their own controller. So when the particular chart is being selected, so what happens? It is going to initialize the controller. Next is display the information to the user. So whatever the data that are represented in a sheet, so those data will be represented as a information to the user. Next thing is implements the update procedure. That means whatever the updation functionality that has been implemented in a model, so whatever the changes that are going to happen in a model, so those data reflection will be taken care immediately in the view. Next is retrieving the data from the model. So whatever the data that has been stored in a model, all the data will be retrieved by the view with the help of a controller. Next, we have a controller class. So for this controller class, we have a view and a model has a collaborator. Next, we have a responsibility of the controller class. So the responsibility of the controller class is it is going to accept the user event user input as a event. Say for example, if you are selecting the text from the mouse, so what happens? It will be considered that as an event. So it is going to accept whatever the user is going to provide the input. All the input will be accepted by the controller. So once the input is being accepted by the controller. Now what happens? The controller will consider these event as a service request. Say for example, if I'm taking, we have represented a view in terms of a bar chart, and I want to select or I want to view the information. So if you do mouse over on a particular graph, so what happens? It is going to display some values. So that will be taken as a service request, and it is going to display the request for the view and implements the update procedure if required. That means whatever the updations are there, so it can implement the update procedure if it is required. So the entire data can be represented in a form of a OMT tool, that is object modeling tool. By using the object model OMT tool, so here what we are representing, we have an observer, we have all the three components, model, view and the controller, and this observer will be taken as an interface where this observer is connected to all the three classes. Now this observer has an operation update, and we have a class model. In a model, we have a attribute has a core data and set of observers, and we have a operation attach, detach, notify, get data, and service has a operation, and the attach and detach methods has a observer has a parameter. So what happens when any updation is needed to the core data, the observer will notify the model. Later, this model is going to notify to the view to make all the changes. So that will be done through the observer. Or if any data is being removed from the core data, so we are passing the parameter as the observer. So through the observer object, those data has to be removed. If any updations are there, it is going to notify through the observer, and the model is going to get the data and get the required services from the user. Next thing is, this model is being attached to the view. In a view class, we have a my model and my controller. Since view has a collaborator with respect to the model and the controller. So what happens? The view will initialize the model. It is going to create the controller, and it is going to active and display the necessary information. If any updations are required, so those updations will be considered in a view. Later, this view is going to create a controller. Since controller is associated with the model and the view, so what happens? It will take two parameters as model and view as view in an initialize method, and it is going to handle all the event through the mouse, and whatever the updation is there, so those updations will be considered by the controller, and it is going to give it to the it is going to display through the view. So next thing is dynamics. So dynamics are nothing but how the objects are going to behave in a different manner. So here, what we are going to consider, we are going to consider two scenarios. So whatever the change propagation mechanism is going to happen, so those change propagation mechanism will be considered through the triggering of a particular event. So when the event is going to happen, so then there is a changes inside the application or within an application. So those changes are being represented or are considered as a dynamics in a patterns. So here in MVC pattern, we are going to consider two dynamic scenario. mm, to represent the changes. So in the first scenario, we are going to consider how the user input is going to result with the changes. So the first step is the controller is going to accept the user input, and by using the event handling procedure, it is going to interpret the event and it is going to activate the service. So the model is going to handle the requested service and it is going to change according to the event, which results in the internal data. And whatever the changes that has been done, so it is going to notify to the views and the controllers which are registered through the change propagation mechanism, and it is going to update all the procedure. And the next step is it is going to request, each view will be requested, and whatever the changes that are going to happen within a model data, that will be represented. And when the each and every controller is being registered, so what happens, it is going to retrieve the data from the model, and it is going to enable all the user functionalities through the entry menu bar entries, and it is going to regain the control and it is going to return the event handling procedure. So here is a diagram that how we are going to represent the event. So the controller will be invoked. So it is going to handle the event. So once to handle that event, what happens? It is the service will be requested to the model. So when the service request has been accepted uh, by the controller, so what the model will do? The model is going to notify through its functionalities. So what happens? Whatever the changes that are going to happen, that will be notified to the functionalities, later that will be updated to the view. So what the view will do, so the view will consider a particular way or particular graph, it will invoke and it is going to display those datas. And to represent those data, what happens, this view has to get the data. So where the data will be there, the data will be there in a model. So what happens, it is going to communicate to the model. Later this after getting the data, what happens, the view is going to display those data. Then later what the model will do, if any updates are there, if any changes are there, it is going to update to the controller, and the controller is going to accept it and it is going to get the data. Then whatever the changes are there, later changes will be accepted by the controller. So this is how the model view controller will be considered dependent on a data. Next thing is how the MVC pattern will be initialized. So the first step is the model of an instance is created. First an instance will be created and later whatever the internal data structures are there, all those internal data structures will be initialized. So once the data structure is initialized, it goes to the next step to represent how the view will be created. So it takes a reference of the model and it will initialize the parameter. So once the parameters are initialized, so through the change propagation mechanism, it will attach all the details through those procedures. What happens? The view will be represented. And the next thing is when the view is still in a initialization procedure, so what happens? The view will create a controller. So what happens? When the controller is being generated or when it creates a controller, it takes the references of both the view and the model, and it will take the initialization procedure. After the initialization procedure, through the change propagation mechanism, it will attach all the procedure and the application begins to process the event. So whatever the events that has been requested by the user, say whatever the data has been represented. So if the user want to view it in terms of the pie chart or scattered point or what 3D data, 3D model, whatever it is. So it is going to initialize that and it is going to represent the data in that particular user requested form. So here is a diagram of a second dynamics. So we have a main program. So the main program will invoke the model. It will invoke the view. So to represent the view, what we need to have a model. So through the model, it is going to initialize the view. Next, what happens? When the view is being initialized, so the model will attach the procedure, whatever the updations are there that will take the view, and a view will be view has to be created. So to create that view, what we need an help of a controller. So the controller has to be created. So how the controller will be created? The controller will be created by using an operation make controller. So when the view has a capability to create a controller, so it will invoke the make controller. So when this make controller operation is being invoked, so what happens? It creates a controller. So once a controller is being created, next what happens? It has to initialize all the procedures through the model and the view. So it will take the model and the view. And it is going to initialize all the procedures. Later, once the initialization has been considered, now what happens? This controller will request for the model. So the model will attach the controller and it will fetch the data and it will be sent to the controller. Now what the controller will do? The controller will send the request to the view. Then once the view gets the service, so what happens? The main program will start event processing. That is, whatever the requests that are there, it will start processing those information. So this is how the dynamic is being represented for a MVC pattern. Next, we have a implementation. So for implementing the MVC pattern, we have different steps that will be represented. So we have 11 steps. So through these 11 steps, we are trying to implement the MVC pattern. So the first step is we need to separate the human-computer interaction from the core functionality. That means whatever the interactions that our humans are going to do, so those functionalities will be separated. So what we are trying to do, we need to try to analyze the application domain and we need to identify what are the required functionalities are there. We need to separate it and what type of input that has to be accepted and what type of output should be there, that has to be decided. And next thing is design the model component of your application to encapsulate the data and the functionality. So what happens, whatever the data and core functionality that will be implemented, so that will be encapsulated. That is, the end user will be not knowing what are the different data that are available, or you cannot have an access to those data or a function. The end user will be not able to identify that. Decide which parts of the model functionality are to be exposed to the user. So you cannot, whatever the data is there, all the data will be not accessible to the user. Only a certain part of the data can be accessed by the user and that has to be decided. So to represent that, what we are using, need to create a model. So to create a model, whatever we had taken a vote election parties. So we have a votes and a parties which are of the type list. Then what we are taking a constructor So in a constructor, we are initializing the party names, and the votes will be initialized to 0. Initially, all the parties will not have any votes. Then we have a iterator. So why this iterator is it? So when the counting of the vote begins, so what happens? It has to be incremented. So we are taking a iterator, and the after all the counting happens, so what happens? We are uh, returning the iterator, that is the number of votes and the number of parties. So here make party iterator we have, so that means we can add the number of parties to the model. And step 2, what we are implementing, we need to implement the change propagation mechanism. So you might how this change propagation mechanism can be implemented for a MAC pattern. So through the help of a publisher subscriber design pattern. So we have come across a publisher subscriber pattern. So through the observer, so whatever the updations are there, so those updations will be taken care, and all the updations will be notified to the different subscribers. So the same way, whatever the updations are going to happen within a different parties, so all the updations will be changed and it will be notified. So once the notification is being received by the different subscriber, it will those updations will be implemented. So it takes a it will be observer will be keep on observing the updates, and it will notify all the updates. So we need to implement the observer. So we have a class observer. So in a class observer, we are taking the update as a operation. So in this update operation, whatever the updations are there, those updations will be taken care. So initially there will be no updations. Next, we have a class model which has been continued from the previous. So here, what we are considering, we are considering the attach and detach operations. So since the observer class is being created, we are passing the observer has a parameter, and through the observer, it is going to add the data into the model. If any data has to be removed, so through the registry, it is going to remove that particular data if no more parties are available. Next, we need to for the model class, we are taking a notify operation. So what this notify operation will do? So since we have taken a parties as a list, so it will keep on iterating until the last parties, and it is going to update all the party votes through the list. Next, in a step 3, we need to design and implement the views. So to design and implement the view, what we are taking a draw procedure, and we need to display those views on the screen. So it has to display those views on the screen, we need to consider the data from the model. So all the draw procedure will be dependent on a model, since the data will be available in a model. So here we need to define a view class. So for this view class, we are taking the observe. It is going to implement the observer class. So here what happens, since the view is entirely dependent on a model, this model will point to the current will consider the current model, um, and the view has to create a controller. So what happens? It is going to attach the current model, and it has to create the view. So to create that view, what happens? It is going to whatever the current view is it, so that it has to remove the current view. It has to detach from that. So that it will invoke the detach operator, which will point to the current object. Then what happens? It will move to the update operation, virtual update operation. So through the current object, so what happens? It will consider the current data and it will draw all the requested views. Next, through the view, what we need to do, we need to draw the bar chart. So we need to create a class called as a bar chart to implement the view. So to create that bar chart, what we need to have a model and we need to have a view. And through the view, through the model, what happens? It will invoke the draw method. So once to invoke this draw method, so what we need to consider? We need to consider the party and we need to consider the iterator. So whatever the each and every time it has to move to the next party and it has to fetch the data. So it will fetch the data and it has to represent, which will be taken in a form of a list. Next, it has to calculate the maximum amount. So how the votes will be considered, since parties and votes are taken as a list. So what happens? It will take the voting. It will point to the current voting. So it will check whether the current voting is a greater than the maximum. So if it is greater than the maximum, then whatever the current value is there, that will be taken as a maximum vote. And later what happens? It will reset the vote equal to 0. Then till where it is going to consider? So it is going to consider until all the parties and the vote is being considered. So next is we need to design and implement the controller. So to design and and implement the controller, we need to consider the application. So here what we need to do, we need to, the controller will receive all the notification and it will implement the dedicated procedure for that. So what happens? The controller has to interpret whatever the different service requests are there, and those the controller has to be initialized and it has to bind between the model and the view. So once the controller is being binded between the model and the view, so what happens? It will process for handling all the requests. Next is a controller class. In a controller, again, it implements the observer class. Why? Because so whatever the changes that are happening with respect to the model, so those changes has to be reflected. Those changes has to be reflected in the views. So to do that, what happens? It has to receive all the notifications. So these notification will be received through the observer. So here what happens? It will take the controller. So the controller will be taken with respect. It has to bind to the view. Through the view, so to view that, what happens? We need to have an access to the model. So the my model will be initiated with will be initiated with the my view, where this my view in turn will get the model. So whatever the model that has been stored, so it has to fetch all the data from the model. So to fetch the data from the model, it will take the attach procedure. So to the current model, it is going to attach, and those will be fetched by the controller. And whatever the updations are there, so those updations will be received by the controller. Next, we need to design and implement the view controller relationship. So to design a view controller relationship, what we need to identify, we are going to consider the view class. So where it consider the observer. Why we are considering the observer? Because whatever the data updations that are happening within a model, that has to be notified to the view. So here what happens, we have taken a virtual function. So in a virtual initialize method, so we are creating the controller. So the controller, we are going to use a make controller, and we are going to create a new controller, and the new controller will be considered when that particular view has to be represented. So whatever the data is there, those data will be taken, since it is taken as a list. So we need to implement that as a table. So we need to create a table controller, so which implements the controller class. So we need to have a table view, whatever the data that has been represented in a model, it has to be viewed as a table. So we are going to create a, using a virtual function, we are going to create a handle event, and we are to create those model in terms of a table view. We need to consider both the party and the vote. So whatever the changes that are going to happen either in terms of a party or a vote, that will be taken care with the change vote method. Next, to have a table view, in a table view class, we are using a table view as a constructor, and we need to initialize the model. So by using a virtual controller, we need to create a virtual controller, where we are creating a controller where this controller points to the current model. Next, we need to set up the MVC pattern. So to set up the MVC pattern, we need to initialize both the model and the view will be initialized by the controller. So once the model and view is being initialized by the controller, so what happens? It starts creating the event. So that event will be taken with the method called as a xt main loop. So what happens? This x is a toolkit, so which initializes the looping procedure. So here is a main function. So in the main function, we have our different parties which has been taken in terms of a list. So each and every party will be appended with the color. So we have a different party names. So either it can be a black, blue, red, green, and the other parties. So by using the append function, so each and every party will be added to the model. So once the parties has been added to the model, so we need to create that as a table view. So we are having a different views, and one is a table view and one is a bar chart view, and it will be invoked, and the event gets start processing. And the next thing is we can have a dynamic view creation. So once the application, while closing and opening the view, what happens, we can manage the views. So whatever the different views are there, so those views can be created dynamically. Next, we have a pluggable controls. So these pluggable controls will support the different views with a combination of a controller and a view, where this view gives a flexibility to represent the different modes of operations. So to create a class view with the implementation of observer, so here what happens, it sets the controller. So once the controller has been set, so what happens, it is going to identify any changes are there. So if any changes are there, so with respect to the table view, it is going to set the controller and it is going to change the view in a table. And next thing is changing the infrastructure of both the views and the controller. So since MVC pattern is a framework, so we can create a reusable views and a reusable controllers. So where it has a common interface, such as it can be a menus or it can be a text editor or it can be a button. So in such a way that we can create a user interface for a particular application to view the different objects. Any doubts?